Alright, sorry for the long intro. I had to go and get something. How is everyone? We doing good? We doing good? So this is going to be a quick Q&A. I have nothing prepared. I probably should have had something prepared. That's fine. I'm using this as an excuse to test some new tracking too. So if I look a little weird, that would be the reason. But hopefully not. But we are going to do some Q&A for about an hour-ish. It depends on how the energy goes. So we'll see. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in chat and I'll answer them as soon as I can. And let me, while I'm thinking on this, I'm going to get us a little thing on there that tells that to, where are you? There you are, text. New source. All right. Ask question in chat. It'd help if I knew how to spell. There we go. So yeah, again, if tracking is shit this stream, it's because I'm like fucking around with how tracking is gonna work in the future. So just so you're aware, I'm gonna get us some background music so that we're not just sitting in silence. I mean, I suppose I could also just like do something in the background during, but to be truthful, I don't know what I would do. So I'm just now noticing. I guess, yeah, this will be a good time for me to just fuck around with settings and whatnot, since I'm doing nothing but answering questions. I can fuck with settings. I don't need to be that tall. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, once again, this is the very short Q&A stream. How long it goes will depend on the energy of chat. And also, other such things. But there will be a real stream later on tonight. I just wanted to do this as its own little thing so that we don't bog down anything. And plus, then if someone wants to come by and look at it later, they can do so with no attachments at all. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here. I don't know that there is anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, so let me just go ahead and get us some background music then. I gotta make sure that I get something that's like not copyright, so yeah, let's do Sims 1 music. Cause that, I mean, that might be copyright, but it's copyright in the way that we might be fine with it. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. As long as I can keep talking at a fucking relatively good pace, it won't be too bad, I guess. But of course, I don't really have any questions yet, so maybe I should just look up some commonly asked questions for this. I'm starting to wonder if this was a good idea. It's fine, though. We get free tracking testing. Always fun. But we'll see. Let's see. Commonly asked questions. You know what? No, I'm gonna make questions for myself that I think would be something that people would ask. So let me just like actually like go through and fucking look at my shit. Okay. I guess the first one and the biggest question of my entire channel, I'm sure to most people, is when's Tag coming back? Which is a good question. When is Tag coming back? Tag's coming back when I get to a good point in the secret project. What is the secret project would be the second question people want to know. The answer is when I get to the point that I feel comfortable sharing it, I will share it. Sorry, I have to be secretive about this. It's mostly because I'm worried that if I announce it, it will get dropped and I will feel bad about it. Much like a bunch of other things that have gotten dropped in the past. So there's that. Another question that I can see people asking is, what will you be reviewing the Disney Plus series? And I did plan on it. I don't know if I will now, but I do have stuff like written for it. So if I wanted to, I absolutely could. So that has a high possibility. Will I be doing something other than Tag, but in the like terribly animated methodology? Yes. Full stop, yes. I will be doing more terribly animated eventually. Let's see. I think that's most of the bases covered. I don't know what else, what other questions might be around. The last time I did a Q&A was, which was kind of stupid, because I didn't need one then either. But the last time I did a Q&A was 3 years ago. And 3 years ago was roughly the time when the Stripe cloning arc was going down, and I said, hey, this is confusing. I should explain. And let me tell you, it hasn't gotten any less confusing. It has gotten more confusing. So, let me explain. What is canon and Tag? Because that's another question that I could see people asking. Very simply put, what is canon and Tag is just the main story, that being like the fact that it is a series made by me and that I went to go seek out Amanda and nothing came of it. That's what's canon. It is also canon that she is trapped within the first episode of Tag. And that's pretty much it. Stripe cloning stuff, no longer canon. Multiple timelines, not canon. None of that is canon. Why? Because it's way too fucking complicated and it went nowhere. So it's not canon anymore. Sorry. So, I'm actually looking at the old Q&A and I'm gonna answer some questions in there, see if, you know, there have been updates since then. So let's see. So I'm seeing a thing that says any plans for 200 sub, which of course at the time I was below 200. So I will update that to be any plans for 500 sub special. Answer is no, I don't have any plans, but it'd be fun to do that. It'd be fun to do something with that. Next thing. Doesn't look like there's a whole bunch here. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, there's not like a whole lot of comments with questions and stuff that I can just pull from. And I've talked about many of the questions that I thought that would be posed, so I am just going to have to either attempt to figure out more or I'm gonna have to find stuff. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's fine. I guess something I could do is we could talk about why the model has been updated, which I have talked about on stream before, but that was a while ago, so it seems like a good time to bring it up. The main reason behind the model change, other than the fact that I do want this to be more than just Stripe from Gremlins, even though I am Stripe from Gremlins, don't forget that. It's mostly because I just wanted to kind of make it better in general. The last model I had for this wasn't great, and so I've just kind of been slowly upgrading this one over time. As you can see, I mean, I'm literally testing something for it right now as we speak, so you know, which is going to need a bit more work, so you probably won't see this kind of tracking for a little bit, at least until I get it all situated. But it's nice to get to test it out. Let's see if there's anything else I can talk about. What am I playing next? I have no solid plans. I do know that there were a few things in the 24-hour stream that I either didn't get to or I played just a little bit of and then moved on. And those are some things that I do want to revisit in the future. Like, for example, I definitely want to revisit Bayonetta in the future because I had a lot of fun with that, but I was just not in the right mind to be playing it. So I will be revisiting that in the future. I think Planet Coaster, I think, would be fun to do. I would have to get it set up to where I have a decent amount of stuff within the game to mess around with. So that would be something. And then in the future, and I don't know when this is, it might be October. So yes, it is like way in the future. But I do have plans on doing a Fallout-thon where essentially we just play the rest of the Fallouts. So that is another thing that is on the agenda. So other than that, I don't know what else there would be. I guess another thing you could ask, not that a whole lot of you probably would, but the question you might have is, you're either you would ask, why is there so much DDLC content, and or you would ask, when's more? And the answer is brain rot. Funny. But truthfully, I don't plan on having a whole bunch of DDLC because despite me being absolutely brain rotted with these funny little people, I don't want to flood the channel with it. I say as I have flooded the channel with Goosebumps in the very recent past. It's fine. And I guess the final question that I can think, unless I can come up with any more, which I'm sure is a big question for those of you who have been enjoying these streams. Sorry to the ones that don't. But the question would be, am I going to be continuing the streams after this year's over? Because yes, the plan was to just stream for roughly a year. I think the answer is yes. Unless I find some reason not to, I think I am probably gonna keep doing this weekly streaming for the foreseeable future. Just because I enjoy it. And I enjoy having this time to like actually physically interact with you when you're all actually here. Which is something I do need to work on. I need to work on announcing and timing. So hopefully I can have that fixed for you guys. That being said, I can't think of much else. So I don't believe we're probably going to be getting any questions in the chat during this time. So I guess I'm going to just... I know I said we'd go for an hour, but I have already just completely ran out of questions, and I'm not about to go on Google and search up Google questions to ask during a Q&A. Enter. I'm not going to do that because that sounds fucking lame, and that has nothing to do with my channel. And I feel like the questions that people would want answered, they would want answered specifically about the channel. So I'm not going to waste your time with what is your favorite color? What is your favorite hairstyle? You know, I'm not going to do that shit. Fuck that. And if you really want to know that, then you can ask that. I do plan, once this is done and it's a VOD, I do plan on, in the comments, if anyone asks any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. Just like a continuation of the Q&A. Don't know how long that will continue for, mainly because I may or may not forget to do it, because I'm known to forget things. But we will see. Anywho, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I'm not getting any questions and I can't think of any more. So we're gonna wrap this up. It was very short. Sorry. If you have questions, just leave them in comment. I'll get to them. Or if you have questions and you desperately need to hear my voice say it, I will be streaming later. You can ask me in the chat then, and I'll answer them. Sound good? All right. Thank you. I'll see you next time. And just a little thing as well. If you are a gremlin, if you're a gremlin and you're watching this, the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be part of my army, you ass. Get back here. All right, that's all I got. See ya.